Perseverance is GLBT pride in 1985, and now, a generation later. Perseverance is 25 years of caring for the gravely ill and still finding the spirit of hope and prevention.
In those early days, oh my goodness, there were people who came to the State House who were so incredibly brave and to come out, because it was very scary back then.
Most of what we did, though, was community building, outreach in the community, and trying to get the damn discrimination bill passed.
We didn't pass the bill that year. We didn't pass it the next year or the next year. To be so close, it was one of the few times I cried in the Senate. I remember sitting in my chair crying. It was so frustrating.
He gave one of the most beautiful speeches about the rightness of our equality that I think I've ever heard.
We have enemies in man. They are poverty, disease, ignorance. They are not gay people.
We had a big old celebration. We had finally passed it through the legislature. The governor had signed it. And while we were out celebrating all summer, our opponents were out collecting signatures. And then in 2005, we said, we're ready to go back to the legislature and we're ready to run a campaign. And so we did.
We recognize that discrimination against anyone is discrimination against everyone. It's the law. Will be put on the ballot.
I was at the Holiday Inn, as I'd been there many times on election night, and that was a night like no other.
To see those votes roll in and to see those numbers, there's nothing quite like them.
Even though the few years before that I had vision and I had pictured what it would feel like to finally win that campaign after all those years. And I had pictured, screaming and yelling and, just hugging people and being so excited. And when it got to it, it was just not that for me. It was very, very serious. It wasn't fun and games anymore. It was about our lives, and we had to win it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that felt that.
Perseverance is standing at attention while being discriminated against and still finding the courage to battle against it.
Activists in Maine are applauding Senators Snowe and Collins for supporting the bill to end Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Music icon Lady Gaga came to Maine back in October to support the repeal of the policy that keeps gays from serving openly in the military. The U.S. Senate passed the bill yesterday. The House had passed an identical version of the bill earlier in the week. Timothy Rose of Equality Maine says the vote was a huge step toward full equality for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender Americans.
I think it's a huge step forward for American society to recognize that the people who are putting their lives on the line for us all around the world and at home can now be open and honest about who they are and who they love.
Perseverance is the realization that LGBT and questioning youth belong to all of us and are in our care, for they are the future.
If Maine approves gay marriage on Tuesday, this will be the first state where voters make same-sex marriage legal, not a court or a legislature.
In Maine, no one tells anyone else how to live.
And supporting gay marriage appeal to New Englanders' live and let live values.
Well, thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it.
The pro-gay marriage side has the support of the state's governor, a Catholic.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't make sure that I did that for all people, regardless of their sexual orientation.
Perseverance is seeing the mountaintop, and after being knocked down, saying, "And still I rise."
Well, it's an ongoing battle that continued today in Portland, a group protesting silently against the Roman Catholic Church, all in an effort to make gay marriage legal. The group has been gathering across the street from the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception every Sunday except for one for the past year, starting November 9th of 2009. And they plan to be there, they say, until things change.
It's visibility. It's to let the community at large know that we're still here, that the issue isn't settled because the law didn't pass or was repealed last year. That's not the end.
The group Demand Equality Now was organized after last year's election denied gay couples the right to marry.
While more Americans say marriage is becoming obsolete and couples are getting married later, if at all, some argue the fight for the right to marry is evidence that it will always be an important institution.
Whether it be for taxes or for hospital visitation or for death benefits or Social Security and all these different things, I think people don't realize how much is tied up in that one little word.
Alex Beal and Brian Randall have been together for 8 years.
When a straight couple says, you know, why does marriage matter, I don't think they really often realize all of the things that come to them because they are married.
Alex and Brian are among the more than 500,000 American same-sex couples who cohabitate. They wear rings like they're married, but they can't be married.
It's really about equality, and it's about the recognition of our families.
Perseverance is the face of Mainers telling their stories. Have you told yours?